Hi everyone, it's Win. It's about 9 Central. Um, Busy day so far. I think it's going to continue to be a busy day. I wanted to just start. I can't post kind of everything and I can't kind of follow everything on Facebook. I do the best we can, but this is a post from WinQuest. People have been asking about what's going on from them, and this matches with a post someone else, Josh Bone, gave me about what was going on WinQuest last night. So you guys can take a look for it on the wall. But basically, they had an issue where the spinnaker pinned them down for at least 45 seconds, and then they had to take the chute down, and they shredded the spinnaker in that time at 42 knots of wind. That they managed to go through that, and then they tried to reef the main, which is to reduce the amount of sail out there. And it sounds like perhaps during the wipeout, when they were pinned down with the spinnaker, something happened to the headboard of the main, which is the part that the halyard, which is the rope that lifts the main up and down, and any sail up and down actually is a halyard. That's the name for that line. It sounds like the headboard was demolished. So they tried and tried and tried and tried. Now they're going downwind at 17 knots with just their head sail up. So that tells us something about the breeze. And let's start by talking first about the breeze here, because it's just going to be the story for the rest of the day. I really don't think that this is doing a good job of telling us what the wind is here. I'm going to show you a couple of the mid-lake sensors in a second. I do believe the winds are just a touch lighter up in this area, up in the upper part of the lake, particularly in the straits where earlier today I said we might see some reduction in the wind as infinite diversion finished, because the wind was coming over the land right here. We did in fact see infinite diversion slow down a little bit before they made it to the finish line. Congratulations, Joe. Team on infinite diversion. Great job again. Anyway, in general, we're seeing, it looks like 10 knots all around here, but from what I'm seeing, the reports that I'm hearing, the tweets that we're getting, it's more like 20, and certainly WindQuest speed would suggest it's more like 20. And if we go to the NDBC, National Data Buoy Center, we get a couple more data points here. This is a little south of our fleet, but this is station, it's a buoy in the middle of the lake, and you can see it's at 19.4 gusting to 23.3. The waves are already up to 4 feet, and I think they're probably going to be going higher. This is the one in the north. It's just west of Manitou, North Manitou Island. This one's at 17.5 gusting to 21.4. So I think the fleet is probably seeing high teens solidly right now, and we're still, if we look on the tracker, I'm just going to zoom out a little bit here. We're still seeing just an immense amount of the fleet tucked in here between Little Sable and Big Sable points. I really have never seen, and I've said this a couple times this morning, but it's still the case, I've never seen that many boats in one place. I need to comment for a second on withdrawals before we come back to the race. You guys are giving me lots of great information about withdrawals. In many cases, you know as much or more than I do about withdrawals. So, I see the boats here going the wrong way just as much as you do. As soon as the race committee gets notification that a boat is withdrawing, they're going to go ahead and they're going to enter that on this results page that I've put a link to on the Facebook page. So I urge you, if you want to know what the latest official information is, to go ahead and take a look here. I cannot give any commentary because, frankly, I don't have a heck of a lot of information, but it's sort of private information also about why they're retiring. It could be anything. It could be the boat is broken. I generally will say if I do know and if there's important information about everyone's okay, I'm going to say that. But I want you to remember that generally, unless you hear that everyone's not okay, everyone's okay. That's the way that sailboat racing and sailing works, okay? We call for help when we need help. If we don't call for help, that means people are almost certainly okay. So I want deep breath. We're going to be all right here, and we'll just follow boats that retire and boats that withdraw through this website right here. Okay, let's talk about the front of the race. I'm still in a position where the back of the race, I cannot talk about it much. I mean, it's just a hairball of boats that are beating into the wind and hiding behind Big Sable Point, and it's going to be a while for them to work north, the small ones in particular. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, just in a couple of the leaders of the fleet here. Whoops, that's out, not in. Right, so here's North Manitou Island. Just to get a little bearing, that's that's El Mostro right there. This is Wizard back here, the Reichel PU-74. We've got Arete up here, and we've got cruising fleet boats other than that up here. I'm pretty clear, right, from the way that the boats are laying out, that the wind is coming out of about this direction right here. You can tell because we got some boats on starboard tack going this way, and we got some boats on port tack going this way, right? So the wind will be coming right down the Grays Reef Passage, which, as I told you, is this little area right here. So boats are going to have to beat their way for about 3 miles to the Grays Reef Passage, right? And then they're going to sort of make a right turn, and the wind will be coming across their sails, and they'll be going pretty quickly, except perhaps for places where the wind is blocked by the land right here in the Straits of Mackinac. So that's what we're going to be seeing the rest of the day. Arete, earlier, I pointed out that they sail different angles. They can't sail quite as close to the wind as maybe a keelboat can. And we're seeing that just a little bit here. I want you to watch Arete, and I want you to watch how they come from upwind and they sort of work their way towards all these cruising boats that are down here as they sail sort of a deeper angle to them. See that happening? Now, a little bit of that it may be intentional as they're trying to set up, but they're going to have to tack to make their way through Grays Reef also, and they just don't sail at quite the same angle, and that's what we're seeing right now, is that going to windward can be a little more of a struggle for a multi-hull. Il Mostro, let's back up, and now let's focus on Il Mostro and Wizard for a second. Il Mostro and Wizard went on different sides of the Manitous. It was interesting. So here they are before the Manitous, all right? Here they go. Watch, Il Mostro just kind of squeezes its way around the Manitous. It looks like they might attack there for a second even. We're going quite slowly, and now all of a sudden they come out, and they're going 14.5 knots. That's the slowest speed I've seen in a little while, actually. 14.5 knots with 67 miles to go. So that suggests that they have 5 or 6 hours to go. I think they're going to be just off record pace. We'll certainly be watching that in case something changes. If all of a sudden they start going 25 knots in this little stretch up here by the bridge, that could certainly change. But they look like they're going to be a little off the record pace right now, barring something unusual happening. Turbo fleet is back here. Some of the cruising fleet is back this way a little bit. Again, there isn't a heck of a lot. Actually, here's your turbos, right? So that's the Santa Cruz 70s. There isn't a heck of a lot of commentary that I can make on boats behind that at this point, given that it kind of, again, everyone's hung up in here beating to windward. We got a lot of racing to go. So we will keep track of it. I'll post another video in a couple of hours. And guys, I'm doing everything I can to stay with the comments on Facebook. I really, really appreciate them. Thank you for them. Please be patient with me if I take a few minutes to get back to you. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye.